Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hello, Maya. I see you online. Thank you for your kind comment. Hello, Mandy, Rebecca, Jacqueline. Great to have you with us. Lots of regulars on tonight. Hello, Lisa. How are you doing? Lots of lovely friends. Thanks for joining us. It's a little bit windy here in Thundersley. I hope everything's safe where you guys are tonight. We will be having healing prayers as normal. So if you've got any names for the healing prayer tonight, please pop them in the comments now. I will try to capture them all. Before we go forward with that, though, a quick update on the church building. As I'm sure you know, we've been having some repairs done initially to the floor. That's led on to some other repairs that we need to make. It's been quite a challenge coordinating the different tradespeople, and there's been some illnesses, and you know how these things go. We were quite optimistic about getting the building open again, but we're now aiming to open the doors again in February, and hopefully that will mean the first event, I think, would be the coffee morning on the first Saturday of each month. So hopefully we can bring you an update soon on that. The works aren't huge, but I think you know, they're perhaps a once in a generation type repair, and they have cost a little bit more than we were expecting. So please, if you are able to donate anything, donate to our church or attend any of the events or any of the other activities that come up from time to time, then we really appreciate that. I know obviously not everyone is able to do that. That's absolutely fine. You're still more than welcome to join us here at Thundersley. So yes, thank you everyone who's helped us so far and donated. Well, aside from that, the church is obviously more than a building, and very pleased to have everyone here tonight to carry on our Sunday services online. Very lucky to have our good friend Lainey Baine with us tonight, our medium. Thank you, Lainey. I did notice, I can see Lainey down in the bottom of my screen here, I think taking some names. I think the way Lainey works is she's drawn to people in the comments. So if you can tonight, please stay with us to make sure that if there is anything for you from Lainey, then you will hear it, because there's nothing worse than missing out on a message. Anyway, let's start proceedings then. Let's go over to Lainey for an opening prayer, and then we'll play out the Lord's Prayer. Here we go, Lainey. Hello.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Well, Happy New Year to you. So I'm Lainey Baine, and I'm so glad you're all joining us this evening. If wherever you are, as long as you're safe to do so, if you get in that quiet space within, and just close your eyes if you feel comfortable as we do an opening prayer. And I do have a wing coming out of my left ear. Okay, that ear. Okay, yeah, it's a bit strange. Okay, so. Divine Source, guide, spirit, friends, and loved ones, thank you for bringing each and every one of us together this evening on what is a very windy bit of Essex. I ask that you keep us all safe and well. I also ask that you surround each and every one of us with your beautiful light, a golden light of healing, love, and protection. And I respectfully ask that you work with me and through me this evening as I endeavour to bring messages through from the loved ones in the spirit world to those here on the earth plane. Everything I do is with upliftment, but above all, with love. Amen.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen.
Okay, friends, thank you, Lainey. Let's go into that quiet space now then, and we'll take some time to send out healing thoughts to those that we name tonight, and those in healing books across the world, in churches and healing centres, wherever they may be. We've had lots of names on our healing post that we put out earlier this morning. all of those we'll think of. But as we go through the names online tonight, I'll just take the ones from the comments here and read out. So let's send thoughts to these people, and then we will take a minute's silence, followed by the healing Vesper. So tonight, our healing prayers are asked for Dave Hunt and May. Dave Hunt and Mum, May. Martina. Healing for Erica, Caroline and family. Louise, Peter and Jane Heath. Healing for Joan Borum, Wendy and Paul Murley, the Curtis family, the Borum family, Brenda Foster, Ivy Murley, Chloe Murley and Bump. Jacqueline's mum May. Healing for Rebecca, Richard and Jimmy. Healing for Kelly, Annabelle, Bobby, Linda Weeks, Alison Lay, Katie, Harry, Hayden, Amy, Alfie, Harry, Purdy and Bruce the dogs. Carrie, Craig, Jason, Betsy, Brian and Christine. The Malone family. Charlie, Chloe Borum, Tracy Hames, Jill Sauder, and healing love and energy to all those that need it, whether human, animal, or our planet. Okay, friends, let's take a minute's silence now to reflect on those names and send out those healing thoughts. This will be broken by us singing Gracious Spirit. Lovely. Thank you, friends. All right. Well, no Bible reading tonight. Peter's safely tucked up at home. So let's go straight on to Lainey for an address and tonight's clairvoyance. Hello, Lainey.
Thank you so much, Rob. And Donna, thank you for such a lovely reading of the Lord's Prayer. So I appreciate that. The reason I write people's names down is so I don't have to keep going over onto the screen and scrolling up and down because I'm still drawn to the names. So at the moment, I've got to add Fiona Rawson as well. So let me just add Fiona and then I will do an address. Rawson. Okay. Right. An address. Wow. Where do we go for that? You know what? It's the little things in life that matter. That's how I feel. And I feel that each and every one of us should remember that. Is no matter what rubbish day we're having, what rubbish year so far we're having, and we're only on the 21st of January, um, some of us are having an okay year, an okay few days, an okay day. And it's knowing that you're still alive, you're still out there, you still hopefully got heating and food and a roof over your head. There are so many out there that haven't got those comforts, and but it's not just that. It's the fact that we've got a new light, a new radio clock in our bedroom, right? And it's all multicolored. It's only like this big, but it's beautiful. And I keep looking at it, thinking, "Oh, that's lovely." It's the little things. Remember to look at those little things out there, and the fact that I'm very drawn to the that way. The because everything's backwards on here. Is the lovely. There she is. Isn't she cute? There she is. She's that side. Okay, but it's bringing that light in. It's bringing that happiness in. It's what you recognise. So that little ray of sunshine, that the thought that all that wind and that rain is actually sweeping, blowing everything out of the way. It's not dismissing the potential destruction or the sadness out there. It's just, you know what? Let's grab the happiness, the good, the positive, because we shall never lose hope. We shall continue to keep passing on that healing and that love and that kindness. And you lot have created such a wonderful community on this church's Sunday evenings, and it's just lovely to see that. And you're all there for each other, and it's wonderful. And just that silence, that moment out of your own lives of taking that moment of quietness to send that healing, that love, but also not just to others but to yourself. It's the little things that count. Okay. Um, yeah, and I just feel, just remember that, please, next time you're having a moment, um, or you just think, oh, it's too much at the moment. Just think, you know what? Yeah, it's too much at the moment. I'm gonna have a little moment of my own. Have a cuppa, have a, do whatever it is you like to do, as long as you're not hurting anyone or yourself. Get on with it. Okay, so there you go. All right. Thank you, Sarah Ann, for agreeing with me. So I'll pay you later. All right. Okay. So, Rob, hopefully, I'm not one to drag on with addresses and whatever. So, am I allowed to crack on with my work, please?
Yeah, of course you are, Lainey. I would love that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. It's weird because for years, sitting in circle, one of the main things they teach you is one opening and closing prayer, but also addresses. And if I sat down and wrote an address, I could do it. But to to be here and to just think of something, sometimes it rolls off the tongue, it comes through my guide, everything. But other times it's just like, you know what, I haven't got a lot of time. I'd like to spend that time not waffling but giving hopefully evidential evidence of our loved ones. Okay, so what I would like each and every one of you to do, okay, that includes you, Donna, just because you're part of the staff, the team, you're joining in tonight, all right, you got a night off, my lovely, is to think about who you would like to hear from. Okay, so their first name and who they are to you. So just their connection to you. I don't want all their story, just their first name and who they are to you. Okay. And oh, thank you, Sarah. Again, it's costing me a fortune. Oh, in my mind it is anyway. So I appreciate that. So looking down my list of names, all right. If anybody doesn't come up, Mandy Mills, Jean, Mum. Okay, Mandy. So I'm going to come to Mandy Mills first. There you go, Jean, Mum. Okay, so Debs is Myra, your mum. So Debs, whilst people are writing that down, I've now got to find everyone on my little list here. Myra. Okay. Oh gosh. Oh, thank you for doing that, my darlings. I can't guarantee I'll get through everyone, but I'll see what I can do. Okay. Jill is Sid, your dad. It's Jill. Jill. I should just written names down and Jill. There we go. So Jill. Oh, Jill Sorter, there you are. Okay, Sid, dad. Okay, that's a few for me to work on at the moment, so don't despair. I'll see how I go. Okay. Now, whilst I'm tuning into all these loved ones, it's just to all listen out because sometimes we have some of them seem to be popping in. They keep giving random bits that makes no sense to the person I'm reading for, but makes sense to somebody else that's listening. All right. So hopefully that will make sense. Thank you, Mandy. Love your hair, by the way. Bit like mine. Okay. Okay. Yeah, yours is a bit nicer and shinier. Right. Okay. So we've got Mandy Mills, right? So we're going to go for Mandy. I'm just underlining you so I know who I'm talking to. So Jean, your mum. Okay. Mandy, your mum, Jean, just gives me the impression that she was very much somebody. I don't know if she dealt with school teachers or just teaching, but I feel very much that your mum was good at direction and support, that sort of thing. But I feel also she was somebody that you could go to even right up to the end of her life. I feel very much that she was somebody that you could sit down and you looked up to her for that support. Hopefully that makes sense to you. I also feel mum was dressed. I'm wearing my cardigan because, hey, it's cold out there. It's quite chilly in here sometimes. But I just feel with mum, that I just feel like I'm comfortable with what I'm wearing, especially indoors. But going out, I feel like she would have wrapped up warm. But I feel not an old fuddy duddy kind of wrapped up warm is what she makes. Okay, thank you. Right, don't get stuck on the teacher side of it. It's just the teaching, that the support and the guidance is what I'm getting at there. But I'm on about going back to how she was going out. So cold weather, wet weather. It would be if you have to go out, then go, but be prepared. Okay, you don't need to. It's not worth putting an umbrella up if the wind's going at 80 miles an hour, but you can wrap up warm. Would you understand that, please? I just feel very much that she wants to do that with you, not just about the weather, but about you in general. Um, and it's just like I just feel she just cared for everyone, but she could see forward. She would know. Your mum was a knowing person, is how she makes me feel there. Thank you. I'm being drawn to the throat area. Now, I don't know if mum had like lines or something going across the throat here. I don't know if it's like a scar. I can't see if it's like what do you call that? You know, in the old thyroid. There you go. If it's thyroid or anything like that. But if it's not her, it's yourself or someone very close that's had their throat or their thyroids done, and I'm being drawn to the throat area. Okay. It's also, oh, okay. Mum gives me the impression that I don't know if she suffered uh, like an allergic reaction to something, please. I just feel something that it's gone from her, but you've got it as well. It's something similar that used to have, and it's something. It's not quite the legacy she wanted. Does that make sense to you, please? Thank you for confirming the throat problems. Okay. Would that make sense with the what mum had, or I don't know if it's like an allergy or hives or something? But I feel that you've got something similar, if not the same. And it's something you're already aware of. It's not. I'm not predicting it. Ah, okay. But it's something mum had as well. Okay. I also get the feeling as well. Thank you. I'm being drawn to the ears, but the earlobes. Where are you going with that? Okay. I feel very much that I want to please accept this with love, okay? Because it's given with love, but I want to wring your ear, okay? I want to come here, come on, sort it out. I feel like mum wants to just, she's, oh, bless her. She makes you feel like she's saying it with laughter and love, but also firmness, all right? Because it's just giving you that proverbial kick up the bum, but it's with love. Everything's with love, right? But she's just makes you feel like she just wants to say, come on, you've got this. I don't know what it is, but she's just saying, you've actually got this, you know it, and you keep putting off whatever it is you're supposed to be getting on with. All right. But she's grabbing your ear and saying, come on. And you can hear me too. You hear me. You know, you keep talking yourself to her, but talking about, oh, what would mum do? How would mum cope? Just what? Thank you. And yeah, I wish my screen was bigger. It's just you're like this big, right? Okay. Yeah, but it's just I just feel quite animated with her. Just excited that she's come through and why do I do that? Because she's here. Okay. Yeah, and she just like saying, really? You're disbelieving that I'm here. And I feel she would have pulled me up on it. Okay. I don't. I believe 100% in spirit and I feel and sense her here. But it's just that's our way of getting through that, just saying, really. And I feel mum would have had that moment of like, uh-huh, pull the other one. Now go and put the kettle on. All right. And there's always something about kettles. And okay, thank you. Right. Would you understand, please? Oh, yeah, look, get on with it. Stop talking yourself out of it. If it feels right to you, and it's going to be right for you guys, and I say you guys, it's not just involving you. Okay, is how I feel there. But Mum's drawing me to this mug. Okay, I can't see if it's like bone china or something. Okay, but I just feel it's not just a mug. It's not. I mean, I know this is a glass, but it's not a straight mug. I feel like it's one of those that goes up and out like that, and I see that it's got some kind of flowers round it. Okay, it's just really pretty mug, but it's proper, it's functional, and it made her feel good as well. Would you recognise that, please, Mandy? Okay, um, right. Okay. Oh, thank you. She also makes me feel that I don't know if you've just done something where you've had a mug and I don't know if it's the handle has come off or it's got a crack in it. It's something that you've been wondering about or it happened. Oh, thank you. All right. But it's that. It's just making sure. I don't feel that's with mum's mug, but it might be. But it should have shown me, like, just be careful. Check the mugs. And this is not just mum's mug, it's the other mugs. Because yeah, I feel like mum's mug is somewhere safe. Okay. Because that's mum's mug. Right. But each time you take the mugs out, always check. Because I feel mum always checked. Just make sure that the handles were safe. Okay. Because you've got scalding hot. She was just a carer. Okay. Maybe check it though. Check the handle, okay? Because once it's full up with water, like hot water, fluid, it puts a lot more pressure. So just always check. But what I'm saying, Mandy, is mum makes you feel like she always, you may not have known this, but she'd always get the mug and she'd always just give a little tweak and make sure that the handle was safe. And this is in general. But that's what she's just saying. Little tip, she says. All right. I'm full of little tips, and this is how she makes me feel. All right. She was full of something is also how she makes you feel. But she says that with laughter as well. She's giving me June and July as special months, but she's also giving me frogs as well. Frogs. Something about frogs. I'm saying something about frogs. I don't feel it's derogatory towards French, but we're not talking France, so that's good because I don't want to upset anyone. Thank you. So careful. Check. Yes, I've already done that. She's certainly up there. Good. Thank you. But we're talking frogs as well. Oh, okay. Would it make sense to you, please? Mum is showing me like little, not nicky nacky news, but little ornaments and stuff. Okay. Oh, thank you for confirming the birthdays as well. Um, but I just see like see it's a little frog. I feel it's more frog than a toad, right? But it's like a little green thing, and it's so cute, but it just sits there and every again and again it gets dusted and whatever, it just sits there, and I just feel that that's something that's moved from here to there and it's gone all over the show. Okay, hopefully that makes sense to you. But I just feel there that if it's not, no, not going to change it. But I was going to say, if it's not a frog, it's something looking similar, but it might be. But it's this little green thing that just keeps moving round. Hopefully that makes sense to you, Mandy. Um, I'm going to finish on that and just please send, or the everyone else and yourself, but everyone else, she says, her love, because I know she's still missed so desperately. She's given me December as well, and I feel December is anniversary of a passing as well as birthdays. Okay. Think as a frog ornament, I'll check. Thank you. But it's something that they've had for quite a long time. So it's gone from there, it gets dusted and it moves over there and it gets moved about. And that's why she's taking me there. But also, it's bringing us to Dad. And I nearly finished, didn't I? But she says, "You can't forget my husband, dear." And she's telling me off. And I just feel there that there was a lot of love between them. But also, as she's talking, I feel that she's making her jowls move, because I feel like there was so much banter between Mum and Dad. Although they had their very quiet moments, I just feel that they were very comfortable in each other's company. Um, where are you going now? Okay, thank you. She is just saying, if Dad will accept it, please tell him I'm always around him. He feels me, but he's not sure. And just let him know it's definitely me. He's not quite mad, but he's getting there. But she's laughing at that. Okay, remember that banter. But she says, tell him it is me. I feel also there's something that your dad holds, and I feel like he keeps it in his pocket. I don't know if it's in his jacket or whatever, but it's in his pocket, because I feel like when he's putting his hands in his pockets, he just sort of does this with it. And it's just something that he keeps hold of in memory of Mum. Would you be aware of this, please, Mandy? Ah, I know, but if that makes sense to you, all right. Mum says as well is make sure his pillows are fluffy, all right, because she just wants to do this with his pillows, okay. And but it's just making him comfortable, okay. And that's just there's something going on around his care or something. It's because it's almost like he feels lost without her, although he's certainly strong enough and independent enough. To look after himself, but I feel that he just feels a bit lost in general. All right. So it's just letting him know that she just says, even from this side, I'm still trying to help him. But it's difficult, she said, because my hands keep going through the pillow because I've got no hands. All right, I'm spirit. And she's laughing at that. All right. Okay, that's something you could maybe find out. All right, but it's just something. Okay, yeah, and because I just see the hand, but it's in the pocket and it's doing this. All right, okay, so thank you for that. Right, that's it, done. Take Mum's love. All right, please, please know how proud she was, still is, not just you, but I've got. I feel there's you and definitely three. There's lots of you, but you and three people that were um, closest around her. Okay, not favourites or anything, but closest around her, if that makes sense to you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And I'm going on to the next one. So thank you, Mandy. Much appreciated, my lovely. Right. So we had Debs Lancaster, Myra, your mum. All right. So Myra for mum for Deb Lancaster. All right. So okay, so are you there, Debs Lancaster, for Myra, your mum? Right. Okay. Debs, hopefully you're still there, my lovely. I feel I want to say, are you still there, darling? And I just feel like she would say, are you still there, darling? There's something about the way Mum spoke. I know she had like a husky voice, but a very something that's like a softish voice, okay? Especially when she wanted something. And that if she didn't get it, she'd let you know. And I feel quite fun with her, but I also feel like she could be quite oh, bless her. I feel towards the end of her life, she got quite, I say, short-tempered or maybe even agitated, but that's just through sheer frustration of how she felt. Um, Mum makes me feel like when I was looking at her name and your name, I was drawn to dark hair. Now I see your photographs just come up, but I feel Mum's was a bit longer. Don't know if it's a bit longer than mine, but I just feel, but it was a darker hair, and I feel she was quite a bit of a bombshell. Your mum in her younger years, definitely. All right. And she's going, "Oi, I still was." And she's laughing at that as well. But she was lived in, is how she also makes me feel. What an expression. But mum makes me feel I was lived in the end. But she loved living in that body most of the time without the aches and pains. And she's saying, all me this and all me that. And I just feel very much that she didn't really complain. But when she did, you knew it's when she didn't complain, you knew she was in a lot of pain. Would that make sense to you, please, Debs? Um, okay, thank you. Absolutely, right? But there's also the rings as well, okay? And I know I've got rings on here, but your mum makes me feel I'm drawn to the diamond ring here, and I've got a wedding ring on as well. So on my right hand, never been married, whatever, but on my right hand. But I feel with mum, she had beautiful rings. Would that make sense, please? And I feel that they've been kept. I can't see if you've got them, Debs, but I just feel that they've been kept and they're cherished. They're not just loved, but they're cherished. Would that make sense to you, please, my lovely? Um, when she was quiet, she was unwell. Absolutely. All right. So I'm glad you understand that. I'm grateful you understand that. It's the rings as well, though, and it's also being given Peter as well as a name, and really. Okay. I keep being given spirit. She did diamond engagement with my sister has them. Okay, but they're cherished, aren't they? It's like, yeah, they're mine. They're mine. I'm gonna, my precious. Okay, and yeah, but it's I keep getting Peter Piper picked a pepper pickles and all that lot, right? But I feel with mum, I had this the other night. It's like, I can't say that. But your mum's laughing because I feel she wouldn't have been able to say it either. And she said, I'm just seeing if you could. And I feel she would have ribbed people, but just in a fun way, not in a horrible way. There's something about yourself. I don't know what's going on in your life at the moment, but she says, I feel like she gives me the impression that she wants you to she just wants to lift you up. And I don't mean physically, just mentally, emotionally, and lift you up. But it's to give you a gentle shove as well, not a push, but a gentle emotional and energy lift and push. Because it's just like, come on, it's just to push you forward, okay? To oh bless her, to do better for yourself, not for you to be better, because you can't get any better than you, because she loved you for who you are, but it's for you pushing yourself, okay? And you've been speaking to, of course you have, you speak to her all the time, and often you don't even realize you're having a conversation with mum in here and in here, but you are. Okay, thank you. She loves it's that side. What I'm looking at the screen is the complete opposite. So when I right, that's it. These oh, the wings, right? The wing. Okay. She's there. All right. But your mum says it's the light up here is what she's pointing to. All right. And she said it's that light that shines and it's in the corner. It just clips. It just catches your eye and you literally turn and it's gone. And she says that's just my way of showing you that I'm still around. Okay. Even if you don't see that, I'm still around, all right? And she's giving me little flowers in a row, okay? I can't see, I don't feel like they're daisies, but they're like little flowers. But they're in a row. And I just feel where are you going there? It's possibly in a border. I'm not really sure, I can't see, but there's like these little flowers in a row, okay? Oh, thank you. Um, Good on you. All right. But these flowers in a row. But she says that's what I could do with you, all of you. She says, put you all in a little row, and then say, you feed them, you water them, and they've all grown. And that's how she goes. They've all grown. And she's so proud of each and every one of you. And I feel that there's one of you in particular. I don't know if you've got a brother, but I'm being drawn to a brother. And I just feel there that he didn't quite grow as tall as everybody else. Okay. And you used to do a garden as well. Fantastic. All right. But it's the height thing as well. And she's just saying, and they all grew. But one of the guys didn't grow as tall as everybody else. Okay, if that makes sense. Oh, bless her. I also feel like I have a child in spirit as well. Um, and I just feel like, you know what, your mum would have taken any child, with permission, of course, obviously. All right. But she'd have taken any child, and she would always feel that any baby was precious. Okay. But she says, I can look after them over here now. And she says, all those little angel babies, I get cuddles galore. Oh, bless her. Okay. There's something about neonatal babies. I think that's like prem babies or whatever. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm not a mum. But well, to animals I am, but not babies, human babies. But neonatal babies, okay? Because she makes you feel like she's now going into the hospitals all around the world. And she says it's amazing. This spirit business, everywhere, all at the same time. But I'm spending time with those those little babies that are on their own with no one around. They're just in their little incubators or wherever, and I'm there giving them that love and that healing. All right. So just know that even now, in spirit, she's still helping, but now she can do this. But she's not just doing that; she's around you guys. Okay. There's also I don't know if somebody's just renewing a car, or they've just been talking about it, or whatever. But something about the new car, and I just feel there. She says, as long as it's a pretty colour and it's a safe vehicle, then go for it. All right. But don't get yourselves into financial difficulties. Okay. Ex-nurse and nanny. Oh my gosh, thank you. Okay. I love doing this work. Right. Yeah. So as I say about the car, okay, if that makes sense. But it's check all the paperwork, all the details, but it's also 100% got to be a decent colour. Right. And she agrees with me that if it's a good colour that you'd have on your nails, then it'll be a good colour for a car. All right. That's I don't know if that's female logic, don't know. But that's me and your mum are in agreement there, and she's laughing and she's calling me a daft mare. Okay, so thanks, mum. Right, thank you. There's also okay, but remember what we said there. There's also about her name, Myra. I feel that I don't know if you've got somebody younger around you, but have her name as like one of their middle names. So I feel like that is being carried on, or is being talked about carrying it on. Okay. So if that makes sense to you. And she's going, just flick it, girl, own it. All right. Because I feel mum was quite sassy. Okay. And I just like her. I feel like if I was having a really rubbish day, if I met your mum, she would have just uplifted me just with her gorgeous smile. All right. So that smile lives on in you as well. So remember that, please. Okay. So thank you very much for confirming the name as well. Okay, so thank you. Okay, thank you. She's shouting out, November, November, tell her about November. Okay, so I've got November as a special month as well. All right, and uh, and there's something about a teaspoon. And where are you going now? Now I don't know who this is, but I don't feel it's mum. But I feel they're with mum. But they would have had the tea, and they would have put it in there. Like the slops in your saucer, and they would have drunk their tea but from the saucer, okay, if that makes sense. But I feel like that's possibly granddad or great granddad, but it's on possibly on dad's side. I feel more drawn to dad's side, okay, but they're just this elderly person that used to have to drink their tea. Hopefully that makes sense. If that makes no sense to you, Debs, maybe someone else, but that's what she's showing me. That is funny. All right. Anyway, mum says, I'm going now. I'm going into the light. All right, that one there, right there, she says. But I'm always around you. All right. So please take my love. Always. Eternal love is how she's putting it. All right. So thank you for that. Right. So you're so welcome. Right. Let's make sure that I've got that one there. Okay. Um, right, who else we got? Oh, thank you, Sarah, again. Really appreciate that. Right. Um, thank you for the lovely comments, by the way. Okay. Let's go for Diana Jean O'Brien. Jean O'Brien. And you want your grandfer Bill or Nan Flo? Brian. Grandfer Bill. Nan Flo. Not man. Nan Flo. Okay. So we've got who did I say there? Diana. All right. So right. So my grandfer Bill or Nan Flo. I'm here. So am I. Hello. All right. You're grandfer Bill, right? And you're calling him grandfer because he wasn't a granddad. He wasn't a great granddad. No, he was grandfer. And I feel he was a bit of a pickle, is how he makes me feel. But I feel like he got on with the kids. Okay. He was down with the kids, is how he makes me feel there. All right. And I just feel like he was how a granddad should be. He was safe, he was kind, he was good, and he was protective about everybody. Okay. I also get the impression he was about 5'8", maybe 5'9". On a good day is how he makes me feel there. So maybe he's a little bit shorter, but he's not, not much taller. And I feel there, although you've got Nan Flo as well, I feel like she's sort of in the corner, and she's like, no, don't make it about him. I don't. I'm just having a rest. All right, I'm over here. I'm having a rest. But I feel that she would have done that herself anyway. Hopefully, this makes sense to you. I know I'm talking faster, but I feel that's how Grandpa Bill makes me feel. All right. And as I was saying that about talking faster, my screen slowed down. Okay. So if I'm going too fast, I feel a Grandpa Bill's just like, slow it down, my dear, slow it down. And I feel there's something about gravelly about his voice as well. I also get the impression, I don't know if he had a wonky eye. All right, I can't do it, but yeah, I feel like he might have had a wonky eye or problem with one of his eyes, and I'm being drawn to the left eye. Could be, this is the right eye. On my screen, it's left, but on here, this one is my right eye. Okay, but yeah. So one of his eyes. It's two of them, and I feel he had a wonky one. Okay, right. And he's sort of like saying, which eye do you look at? All right. And he's laughing. All right. He said, the one looking at you. And he's chuckling. I also feel like he was not a prankster, but I feel like he was mischievous, especially with regards to like Christmas time and birthdays and family gatherings. He was just the soul and life of the party, is how he makes me feel. Although I don't feel he was a major drinker, Diana. I just feel like if he did drink, it wasn't over the top, because he's been there, done that, and that's not what you should do, because you still got to wake up the next day. Okay, if that makes sense. I learnt my lesson, is how he makes me feel. Plus your nan would have told me off, all right, and I feel that as well. I feel with Grandfather Bill, there's something about his accent. I can't see here if he's English or foreign. What's foreign? Anybody not English is foreign. I really apologise to the rest of the world out there. All right, but that's how he makes me feel there. I blame it all on him. But I feel there with his accent as well. I'm trying to feel or sense where his accent, where he's from in the world. But I feel very much that he had a really cool accent, is how he makes me feel there. Okay. He's where'd you go? He couldn't drink, that's why. There you go, see? But even a thought of it, the sniff of the cork, all right, but he couldn't. But that's as long as you understand it. But he would get told off, wouldn't he, if he ever even thought about it? All right. Okay, where are we going with the accent? Right, yeah, something about his accent as well. So he's yeah, his accent, all right. And he's just like, God, don't you waffle? And he's telling me about green beans, and he's talking about the vegetable patch as well. I don't know if it's an allotment or veggie patch, or he liked his I say his vegetables. Whoa, okay. Would it make sense to you, please, Diana? Did he actually grow vegetables and show them, please? Or they grew big enough that he could show them? If it's not him, I'm just being shown this where they grow, and somebody holds their marrow and it's about 43 pound and they're like so proud with it. He's showing me that. I have no idea, but hopefully that makes some sense to you. If it's not him, think around that you've got someone that does that. And it's just, and thank you. He says, "You're missing the point, dear." He's telling me off. You're missing the point, dear. Is tell her as well. Don't ignore what I just said, but tell her as well. It's the vitamins. All right. It's the vitamins. It would help. Okay. It's not just you. It's French ancestry. Whoa, get in there. So thank you so much. I hope you're all reading these comments, all right? So yeah. So he was from Weymouth, but was mixed French ancestry and native Indian. Yes, he had a lovely garden, grew everything. Thank you. Okay. So as a medium, I love it. I love it. I love it. So thank you. So Grandfather Bill. All right. He said, "Have you finished?" And he's like laughing at me because he's like, "Have you finished chatting? All right. Who's this about? Me or you?" And he's sort of like, but he's not having a go at me, but he is. I feel like it's about you, Grandfather Bill, not me. And it's true. All right. But he's laughing. Apart from his wonky eye, I feel he had beautiful eyes. Okay. And would you confirm, did his eyes weep, please? Because I feel like they were constantly either, oh bless, they were either really, really dry or they wept. I don't mean cry, but they would weep. Okay. And it's just, yeah, and it's just like, oh yeah. I'm getting upset now, but he wasn't. He was just saying, yeah, 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 it's my feelings, my emotions coming out. But I feel like they weren't. It was just he had trouble with his eyes. But his emotions, he very much was a private man. okay? But I also feel like he would have respected everybody else's privacy as well, and was definitely not a gossip, although he liked to hear gossip, okay? And he's just like, really? But he wouldn't have spread that around, if that makes sense. So the allergies with the eyes and that, so thank you. But yeah, it was just horrible, wasn't it? And he's just like, oh, flowers are beautiful, but no, and the pollen, and oh my god, and cut grass and rapeseed, and now he's off on one. Okay. Because although it's all beautiful, it mucks up the body. Thank you. And there's something about bees. Okay. Um, it's just, he makes you feel like very much that he loved. I know you said about the garden, okay, but he makes you feel very much about, he loved all the butterflies, like the wildlife garden. So you've got the butterflies and the bees and the dandelions, yeah, those as well. They're very pretty dandelions. But he's also saying about the dragonflies is the word I was looking for, and he says, yeah, he's just grateful they didn't have wings this big, so they can flutter around over there. Okay. I don't know if you've got a young daughter or a daughter, but that I feel like she's relatively quite young. But I feel very much drawn to a younger female. I can't see an age, but they're just a young girl, not woman, but young girl is how he makes you feel there. But he's drawing me to her, and he's just saying about the dragons and remind them about the fairies, is what he's saying. All right. Oh, thank you. Remind them about the fairies, because we're talking about the wings and the dragonflies and the fairies. If you know the story of the fairies at the bottom of the garden, in, I don't know, Victorian times and that, they all the photographs and everything, and they tried to prove it was a hoax. But even to this day, they're still not really sure. Are they real? Are they not real? But your grandfather Bill says, and your decision, your choice whether to believe or not. And he says, I'm glad you believe. And he's just pointing this as in respect to spirit. I'm glad you believe, because I do 100% now. And he says, now. Okay. And he says, I've got to, because I'm over here. And he's chuckling at that. All right. But he doesn't laugh about it. He's chuckling in a gentle, sad, but happy, loving way, if that makes sense. Okay. Where are you going there? Okay. Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Okay, so it's that. All right. Um, he's oh my gosh, this man was so stupidly proud of you lot. And I feel as well is around the time that he passed, it was somebody's birthday, please. I feel very much, I don't feel it was his, it might have been, but I feel very much it was somebody's birthday. And it's like it was just like either the day or so before or just the day or so after, but it was around about someone's birthday, if that would make sense to you, please. And I want to give you a cup of coffee. All right, but he says decaf, dear, decaf, and there's something about you and decaf coffee. All right, and helping to sort calm your tummy down, if that makes sense too. Again, not prediction; it's something you're already aware of. All right, so please take his love and his gratitude. And he says, my knees no longer creak, he says, all right. And he's laughing at that, because I feel like he creaked a little bit, is how he makes me feel. All right. Nan Flo is still in the back, in the corner here. And she just saying, that's all she needs. She's all right. If I come in, it'll be too greedy. And everybody else wants to hear something anyway. And I feel that's how Nan Flo was like. Okay. Born, yes, I think decaf. Yeah, okay, so thank you for that. And mwah, 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 and that's from Nan Flo and Grandpa Bill. All right. Sorry, and everyone else, because they've just gone, and us. All right. So I know, I feel that you've got a lot of loved ones in the spirit world, and you feel and sense them around you anyway. Okay. Thank you. I don't know if you live near or can see or go regular basis or as often as you can, but looking over the cliffs and out at sea. And I just feel like I just want to be sitting on the top of the cliff. I don't know if it's like a bench or something, but looking across. So you can't see all the beach and that down below unless you looked. Don't do that, it's too high. But you're looking out and it's just you and the expanse. Okay, that's from Grandpa Bill and Nanny Flo, and I say Nanny Flo, not Nan Flo, but Nanny Flo as well. It's there for the taking, because it's in here, if that makes sense. So thank you so much, Diana. All right. So thank you. Right, where are we going here? Right, so that's that one there. Right. Hi, Demi Ray Turner and Jackie Kumar Moody. My dad, John Moody, please. Lovely messages. Thank you. Thank you very much. Lisa Duffy New. My hubby Rob. Okay. Margaret, my nan, please. Oh, hi. I really hope I can get through a lot of you tonight, but let's go for it. All right. Okay. So, hi, Kellyanne Hobbs. Right, Dad John or his dad. Okay, so I'm going to go to Rebecca Whelan. All right, so you're, oh God, I've lost it now. Dad John or his dad. So Rebecca Whelan, Dad John or his dad. Okay, if I don't write it down, I forget where I'm going. So I'm getting all this through and I think, who am I talking to? Who am I talking there and to you? So that's why I write it down. A good old fibro fog. Ugh, it's a nightmare. But right, so Rebecca Whelan, your dad John, or his dad. All right. And I feel like your dad was a bit of a character because he's saying, do you want my dad to hold my hand? Is that what you really want? All right. But I feel like he's looking at, he could keep such a deadpan face. All right. Is that what you really want? You want him to hold my hand for me? He says, actually, he held my hand when I crossed over. And that's how he says, he held my hand when he crossed over. He said he hasn't he hasn't had hold of my hand since I was a little boy. Okay. And he says, but when it was time, he held my hand. Okay. So just to let you know that, Rebecca. Okay. Hi. All right. Okay. Um, I feel your dad and his dad. I don't know if they had like a kerfuffle between them, so can't see if there was like a split between them. But I feel that there would have been a parting between them. Okay, for a short while. I don't feel a long while, but a short while. And there's also bear with me. Okay, thank you. Your dad makes you feel like they were. He would. There was something about your dad and trying to drink fluid. Okay, and I can't see if he had trouble with his throat or his neck, but I feel very much there was trouble with him swallowing fluid, if that makes sense to you, please. And I feel quite itchy all around this area, and I just feel quite agitated all around this area, if that makes sense to you, please. Now I've said it, I've got he's letting me let it go, but hopefully that makes sense to you, please. I can't see what it is, but if it's not with dad, it'll be with yourself, granddad, or whatever. Okay. I don't know just to fit, but don't know much about granddad and didn't know his name. Lost dad in my teens. Oh, bless you. Had trouble with his chest. Okay. But it's just about the fluid and that going down. All right. Chest and throat. Thank you for confirming that. Okay. So that's what I'm saying about that the short time between their separation. Okay. Where are you going? Right. Now, I know you just said about your dad's throat and his chest area, but I feel also that there's somebody around you now that has been getting lots of headaches and very tired, but they're not, they're almost too scared, too anxious, or trying desperately to get seen and get it checked out. And dad says, don't ignore it, just get it checked out. Then you haven't got to worry about things, have you? Because you'll know what it is or what it isn't. And, come on. And I feel dad was quite like that. He's just very, was it pragmatic, practical, and logical as well. And I feel like he was quite somebody that would have wanted to. Oh, okay, thank you. He wanted to shave. He makes you feel like he could have shaved, and 20 minutes later, it looks like he needs a shave. If that makes sense, was that like Bluebeard or something? And I just feel very much he's sort of like, you know what? It was like a fighting battle, okay, but he didn't look good in a in with a beard. Is how he makes me feel there, and it'd be too itchy. That's where I'm getting the itchy from as well, because I feel like sorry, I really feel like I'm talking so fast. Temporary brain injury. Oh, bless you. Uh, don't be scared, all right? Dad will be with you. When you go for that scan, if it's an MRI or whatever, he says just be there, just calm, get the song going. That oh, I can't see or hear what that song is. He says, but get the song in your head and get a vision of me if it helps, and you'll be calm, all right? And he just says that with such love and calm, all right? So that's down to you to do that, all right? So I'm not glad that you get the headache, but I'm glad that you understand and it makes sense to you. But he says, get it sorted because otherwise you'll worry too much. And you are a bit of a worrywart. Okay. Thank you. I'm just looking here and the light's catching my face, and I feel that I can't see if it's your dad or you wouldn't know about your granddad because you didn't know him. But I feel very much that there's the red nose and the red cheeks and that, and I feel very much that I'm trying to see if that's through alcohol or through being cold. Okay, not having a cold, but being cold. You know when you like put a scarf on. The hands on here, it's weird. When you put a scarf on and all you've got is your nose and your eyes looking out, and I feel very much that this area got wind chills. Where'd you get? Oh, there you go, wind chills. All right, so somebody got the wind chills and across their nose. It's like a little band going across here. Okay, if that makes any sense to you. You usually get it from skiing. Yeah, you can see people being skiing if they've got the mask. It's all white round here and red everywhere else. Okay. Um, so where are you going with that? Right, and that's I feel that the skiing, or the snow, going places where there were mountains or very large hills that could almost be mountains with snow on. Okay, and I've no idea. Hopefully that makes some sense to you, Rebecca. All right. I feel very much that memories are a big thing. Making memories as well are a big thing for you, for your family, your loved ones, because you never know how much time you have on this earth, and it's not doom and gloom. Okay, don't ignore it. Look around you, as in like family and loved ones around you, and it's the skiing. But somebody, I feel, has got this where they've been caught. The wind chill factor, whatever. But they've come in and they've got this bit going across here. Pardon me. Excuse me. Okay. Where are you going there? Right. It's your family as well. And I don't know if you've got a little dog, please. So I feel like there's a little dog or little fluffy thing zooming around or keeps sort of like getting in the way and whatever. But nobody wants to tread on it. But it's just not quite ready to learn to keep out of the way of big feet. But I just have this little dog around as well. And I feel that's here on the earth plane, not in the spirit world. Okay. Um, there's also oh gosh, okay. Dad is also making me feel like he's a very proud man, and he's singing "Land of Hope and Glory," but he's belting it out. So I can't see if he had just like Welsh connections there. But the don't worry about the dog. All right, if it's not there, but look around you. Somebody's got a little dog. Could be a puppy. I don't know, but it's a little thing. Okay, but it may be really young, like a puppy or something. But it's just too young to it's got to learn. Okay, it's got to grow. But back to dad with his voice and possibly Welsh connections here, but the singing. All right, but he makes you feel like he belted out songs or he'd like to sing loud. Okay, and bless him, he says sing loud and sing proud, and he's laughing at that. I'm sorry I didn't get to spend and see you grow up fully, but I've like physically here, but I've seen you grow up fully whilst I've been in spirit. Okay, and he was Irish, but I suppose that's a Welshish, isn't it? It's still foreign. It's not English, so it's foreign. I'm really sorry out there. Okay, he's laughing at that, saying it's true. It's true. You English, you're foreign. Okay, so I feel like he's very proud of his heritage as well. I don't know if you had Southern Ireland, please, but oh, so where's the musician? Yay! Right, but sing it loud and sing it proud. Okay, I know you do, my lovely. And he's just saying, but I'm around you. Okay, and you've got somebody that's learning to play the drum, please, or they're playing, and he's taking the mickey out of them, saying, yeah, they're learning, all right, but he's taking the mickey. But I feel that they've got some kind of, because he's sort of like doing the advert where they got the big gorilla thing doing the doof doof yeah, and Phil Collins song, and he's doing that, yeah, and he just says, I love that bit. And that was his favorite bit. And it's like that advert, he loved that advert just watching it, if that makes sense to you, please. And I feel like he played air drums as well. So, like mucking around when music was playing. All right. And I just feel he was just fun. Your dad was fun. Okay. My dad, he says, he was all right, but he was in his own world, his own, on his a different path to mine. And I feel something about water and being over the water, if that makes sense to you, please. I'm going to leave it there purely because I need to move on, and I'm very aware of the time as well. Hopefully that all makes sense to you. All right, and I just want to leave you with do 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 boof. All right, and he's just go. He's now going. drop the mic, all right? And he's laughing at that, okay? And he's like, Dad has left the building. All right. Thank you very much. All right. So he was a character. But thank you, Rebecca. All right, my lovely. So thank you very much. Okay. So that's that one there. Right. Okay. Okay. Let's have a look down. All right. Okay. I got Stella Cheney, please. All right. So, and Stella is Brother Rex. Rex. Right. Okay. It's a weird one here, Stella. Hi. I just feel very much that your brother Rex just makes you feel like I just want to be quiet, just tune in. And he's like, feel I don't know if your brother was really intense, really, I say thoughtful, mindful, but I just feel all totally within himself, like not withdrawn, but in his own private space. Okay, it's a really weird feeling for me as a medium, especially having all the other people through, like smart, whoa, going crazy, but he was like the complete opposite. Okay, I feel very much that he had his own way of loving. Okay, I feel very much that I can't see if he was, say, like high functioning autism, which used to be known as Asperger's. I'm not saying that, but I feel very much that he could have maybe been on that spectrum with regards to his intelligence and his one focus on this, one focus on that. Would that make sense to you, please, Stella? Um, okay. Yes, thank you. I feel like your brother had the most gorgeous eyes. There's just something I feel like he had like I don't know if they were like watery, like almost when somebody has blue eyes and they're so vivid. I'm not saying he's got blue. I'm trying to ask him what his color eyes are, but I feel very much that the blue eyes are almost like they were liquid. They were just like watery. They were that beautiful. But there's just something about your brother's eyes and about his it was just oh bless him. I feel okay, okay. I know you've asked for Rex, right? But I feel very much, thank you. See, I've just gone with the blue, shouldn't I? All right. This is how close he is now, right? It's either that or my heating's too high. Not sure really. Take this out. Ah, okay, thank you. He says, I hope that's all you're taking off, miss. And he calls me miss. And I feel very respectful person. Very respectful young man is how he makes me feel there. I feel very much that he's like a two for what's that? 2 for 1. Right, okay. Is he saying no? That was my sister. He says she likes her bargains. All right, and he says, me, I just thought, you know what, do what I got to do. I'm pulling my sleeves up as well now, and did he do a lot of drawing, please? I don't know if it's like pencil drawing, but I feel very much that you got to pull your sleeves up because I feel like he would get all like when you're leaning on something, it would go all across his arms. Okay, does that make sense to you, please, Stella? If it's not him, think about you or somebody close to you. Okay, I've got to pull my sleeves down again because the elastic round him is cutting the circulation. All right, and he's laughing at that. He's just saying, "You're really daft, aren't you?" I am. But there we go. Um, but I feel as well he was, I say quietly spoken. He'd prefer to be quietly spoken, but there were times when you wanted him to be more outspoken. Okay. Um, where are you going now? Oh, bless him. Okay. It's a really weird feeling that I'm getting here again because I'm trying to ask him to meld with my energy and his energy to just try and feel that to get like interpret what he was, okay, his character and his essence. And he says, no, I wouldn't have been like that here on the earth plane, so why should I be like it now? Hopefully that makes sense to you. um I also feel you're very much, Stella, aware of him around you. That's not him in your picture, is it? You giving him a kiss on the cheek? I don't know, you never know. All right, but he just makes me feel like he was very oh Oh, bless him. Would it make sense, please, Stella, that he was quite disillusioned with what was going on around him, please? His Harry just makes you feel I was quite disillusioned at the time. It doesn't matter what anybody else said or did. It was going to be my time to go. Not that I wanted to, but it happened, and I'd gone. But I feel like it wasn't immediate. But I feel it was like almost in stages, if that makes sense, please. And then he was gone. If that makes sense to you, please, Stella. Oh, we've got a no. Don't like no's. I don't know what the no was for though. So if I've got that completely wrong, don't ignore it. All right. If it's not with him, it could be with someone else out there. All right. Where are you going now? Okay. Come on, Rex. Okay. Oh, the picture. Is that what you're saying with the picture? He's going, "Oh, I'm better looking than that." But he's laughing because he would never have said that. I feel very much again, he's just too private. Not him in a picture. That's what I'm just answering that. Oh my God, I must be psychic. It's so funny. But he's laughing at that. He says, "No, I'm better looking than that." And he's laughing. But again, that's something he wouldn't have said here on the earth plane. Okay. He just wasn't that kind of person. But saying that, I feel he was very quirky in his mannerisms and his ways and his sense of humor. I feel he had quite an awesome sense of humor, but it was not selective, but it was selective who he shared that humor with, if that makes sense to you, please, Stella. Okay. Um, where you going as well? There's also Jim or Jimmy he's given me, but he's also given me Jiminy Cricket. And I feel very much that Pinocchio and Jiminy Cricket, there's something, and I feel that's more of a memory link for you guys and a memory link for him. Okay, is Jiminy Cricket and Pinocchio's nose. All right. I feel very much that you could have had a conversation with him about anything and he would have retained that information. Would that make sense to you, please, Stella Cheney? All right. And he's also given me Tesco's. I don't know the connection with Tesco's, but he's taking me to Tesco's as well. And he's laughing. He says, "Yeah, it's going to close soon." And he's laughing at that. All right. So there'll be something about that. And he's also saying, give her July as well and June. And also something about the 29th of February. I know this year is a leap year. All right. If you weren't all aware of that, 29th of Feb, once every 4 years, and this year is it. And very proud and private. We have big noses. I'm not laughing at your nose, by the way, but the fact I'm going, no, there you go. Okay, Roman noses, darling, be proud of them. All right. Oh, I'm so glad you got that. All right, but he's saying Jiminy Cricket as well. Um, right, but yeah, it's just those dates I've already forgotten. The 29th of February. Okay. So there's something about the 29th of Feb as well, because as again, it only comes around 4 years. But he's just saying something about that day. And I feel that he died in June. Thank you for confirming that. But don't forget the 29th of Feb. All right. So there's something happening or doing or spoken about for the 29th of Feb. Okay. So he wants to say, I really, really loved you and appreciated your patience with me because you got him and he appreciated that. So thank you so much, Stella, for being a stellar sister. There you go. Get that one in. And he's chuckling that. And he also gives a bit of an eye roll as well, because he's like, really? And he's got quite a straight kind of sense of humor as well. Okay. You're so welcome, my lovely. So thank you for that. How are we doing? Right. I feel I've got time for one more, maybe. So please don't all give up. Please don't. Right. Okay. Um, okay. I wish really I could read them all. So sorry. I do private readings. Okay. Um, Julie Zachariah. If you're still around, Julie Zachariah. Okay, Zachariah, and your Nan Rose. Right, Julie Zachariah and Nan Rose. Julie, hello. Right. Your Nan Rose, please. Would it make sense to you, please, that she's on on Mum's side, please? I feel drawn to Mum's side, and I feel very much that that she was just a kind of motherly Nan, if that makes sense as well. I feel very much that she wasn't your typical Nan. She wasn't sort of really old, if not in looks, but in her mind. I feel very much she had a younger outlook on life, please, if that makes sense to you. I feel also, would she have worn like, she was known for her, I say jewelry, but like prunella scales, not prunella scales. We won't ignore her either. Prunella scales, but the one on Great British Bake Off or whatever it is, in the tent. Yeah, the one that with all her jewelry. Okay, I don't feel your nan was as mad as that, but not far off it. Okay, and I know I'm doing a lot of talking, but Nan makes me feel I'm drawn to the throat area and coughing. I feel like she did a lot of coughing. And it was like, no jewelry, no worries. Look around you as well if it's not yourself as well, but there's something about the chunky jewelry. All right, and there's just something there. Not loads, all right, because I've got my necklace, I've got bits and bobs on, but this is jewelry. I'm on about not real stuff. It's all like made home homemade, whatever. But anyway, I think I'm waffling now. I am waffling. So let me go here. Come on then. Okay. Right. Okay. Please don't get this the wrong way. But did your nan have a bit of a moustache, please? Because she's doing this, right? She's just rubbing round her face, right? I can't tell if it was like the oxygen thing going up her nose or she had a little bit of a moustache. But she's sort of saying, oh, look at that. Take it off. Take it off. If that makes any sense to you. All right. I also feel like, oh, bless her. I get the impression, Julie, that she shows me quite thin hands. And I feel like she just makes me feel like my hands were never that thin during my lifetime until the end of my life, and I just feel it's almost like they became quite almost spidery hands. And she's doing this, and she says, "Rrr," and she's laughing at that. All right, and I feel like she would. Not chase the grandchildren, but I feel like she would have been a good nan around the kids, if that makes sense, please. I'm not giving her grandchildren, but I don't ignore that. I feel very much as well that I'm drawn to, as I was saying this and whatever, is I'm being drawn to the end of October as well, please, as a special time, not just Samhain or the other one, the 31st of October, Samhain, but Halloween, that's the one. Um, yeah, all of that. It's all on the same night. But your nan just makes you feel like she knew so many different things, Julie. She knew so many different things. And she knew as well about being here previously. Okay. She may not have believed in reincarnation, but she knew things. And it would be like, how do I know that? Would this make sense to you, please, Julie Zachariah? Okay. Love your name, by the way. And there's just something about your name and surname Zachariah. Okay. Now, I don't know if you've got a Zach or a Zachariah in the family with that actual name, please. So I'm being drawn to the Zachar or the Zachariah part as well. There's somebody around that has blossomed, is how she makes me feel. They've blossomed since Nan's passing. And I feel very much that there's thank you. I'm trying to see. She's saying it's something about being around the sea as well, and around. I don't know if it's like a cove or a bay, and it's just somewhere that again we're coming back to the seaside again, but it's just this special place that it's almost like it was totally private, if that makes it felt private when you're there. Hopefully this makes sense to you. Don't just get stuck as it might not be Nan, but it's as in like she went there, but it's something you might know about, but if that makes any sense to you. I feel Nan as well. Not she did lots of chopping, but she makes me feel like she was pretty deft with the old knives, chopping. Because she's doing this with her knives and chopping up food. Okay, and I just feel very much that she loved to do the food and everything, but was very fair with what she dished out, if that makes sense too, and very precise with most of the things that she did and the way that she looked at life. But I feel again, although she was fair, she was very very strict with things as well, if that makes sense. You've got to have a bit of structure and a bit of order and a bit of respect. And a sprinkling of fairy dust on top, okay? And it will all come out good. That's how she makes me feel there. She used to come out with quite good little ditty things, little sayings, and I just feel there that anything to make you feel better. Okay, anything to make you feel better, to uplift you, and would never leave anyone if they were crying, and she would sense if you were about to cry. She'd be an empath. She was an empath, is how she makes me feel there. There's something also about her. I know you said about no jewelry, but there was something I feel very much. I don't know if it's like a brooch or something that was worn in her memory. And I don't know if it's like a little ribbon or something. Is she just placing it here? That would have been worn. Thank you. She was very kind, but that would have been worn around this area. I feel for her day of passing. All right, is how she makes me feel. Her day of passing. That's how she's saying it. But it's in her memory. Okay. Oh, thank you for that. Okay, just sorting out my bra strap, everybody around the world. Done. All right. And she says it's a good job as well, because I had to keep doing that as well. Would you understand that with Nan, please? Just keep hoiking the boobs and sorting out the bra straps and always not fidgeting, but just making sure she's comfortable. All right. I'm so glad you've got her brooch. She's so glad you've got her brooch. All right. And it's very pretty. I feel like that catches the light, but it's something, again, another one of those very precious things. All right. So you understand the booby side of it. All right. But Nan's laughing at that as well. And oh, thank you. I don't know if you're due to have a mammogram or whatever, but don't say no. Go and get yourself checked out. Again, not predicting anything. She says women tend to forget to get them done, or they're worried, or they don't want it looked at, or whatever. Oh, no. But she says, it's done. Now, I don't know if you've got kids, Julie, but she says, she says, look, us women have to go through so much in our lives, and she's very matter of fact with it. And she's just like, just go and get them done, whip them out, get them done, and chuck them back in again, hoik them back up. And she's laughing, and I just feel she's saying it because it's like trying to make it not a joke out of it, but make it more light-hearted. Okay, again, not predicting anything. All right, she's telling you, stop putting things off. Okay, little things that potentially get it done out of the way, and this goes for anything that you keep putting off. All right, and you know what she's talking about. No idea, but hopefully you know what she's talking about, Julie. All right, so please take her love. She's given me April as well as a special month for you. She just going April. That just popped into my head there. And also, I don't know if you've just had your nails done, but there's something about your nails as well. She said because they look so pretty, is what she's saying. Okay, and mine glow in the dark. They're really cool. If it was black in here, and I can't turn the light off because I wouldn't be able to see, but they glow in the dark. They're really cool. Okay, and she likes that, but she wouldn't have worn this. Okay, but she always looks smart, and she loves how the style that you've made for you. It suits you, okay, because you are individual, and she loved you to absolute bits. Okay, so thank you for that, and that's it. Okay, so yeah, so thank you, and look after yourself, Julie, and your nan loved you so much. Loves all of you. No favourites, but maybe you. Just saying. All right, so thank you, my lovely. Right, there you go. Oh, you're welcome. And I'm really sorry I didn't get to everybody, but hopefully you can take solace in what I've said to others. All right. So thank you, Rob. Over to you, my lovely.
Lovely. Thank you, Lainey. Well, we've got Frank's cards coming up, and then we'll come back for a closing prayer.
Okie doke. Thank you.
Lovely. All right, friends. Well, a lovely evening so far. As Lainey said, although she tried really hard and squeezed an extra one at the end there, which we really appreciate, we can't get around to everyone. So Frank from our church draws 3 animal cards each week so that we can all take something away for the week ahead. Each card is marked by a crystal at the start here. Tune into the crystal that you feel drawn to, and let's see what Frank has for us this week.
Good evening. Our first crystal this evening is the citrine, and with that goes the card for the Siberian Husky. The Siberian Husky signals the end of a situation and the chance to move on to something new and more exciting. It says it is a time to let go of the past. It might be that a project or career or relationship has come to an end, or perhaps something you weren't expecting to end has done so. Even if the ending has left you feeling uncertain or worried, you probably knew deep down inside you that something better was waiting out there for you. You just didn't have the courage to take that next step and accept the change that it might bring. Wonderful opportunities are possible now. Put aside your fears about change that might come with the ending, and trust that a far happier future lies ahead of you. Remember to give gratitude for a successful outcome. As pets, Siberian Huskies are loving, smart, and very alert. However, as a breed, they come from one of the harshest locations on Earth. It's no surprise, then, that they symbolise being able to overcome significant challenges and difficulties and successfully find a solution. Following their example, you'll be able to take on whatever dream you have in mind with equal grace and poise. The Siberian Husky on this card we see is holding a lead in her mouth, which signifies she has control of what is happening next. And she asks you to think likewise. She asks, don't let anyone dictate what you do next. Take hold of your lead, control your life, and move on in the direction that you desire. She's also a service dog, so it could be that next phase in your life may involve being of service to others, or perhaps seeking service for yourself. Our second crystal is the rose quartz. With that goes the card for the St. Bernard dog. The St. Bernard dog is all about warning against being overworked and making sure you ask for help when you need it, so that you get the right balance between work and play. St. Bernard says you may be taking on too much at this time. You may feel you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. Often it's because you are trying to make others happy and see that they have what they need and that they are safe and well. The St. Bernard asks that you put aside some time to reach out for yourself. Be prepared to delegate. Carve out time for relaxation and play. Bring a balance into your life between the two, work and play, lest your own health may suffer. St. Bernards are wonderful, good-natured dogs with a history of helping others. In the past, they were bred to be physically strong with a keen sense of smell, so that they could aid people in the snowy mountains of Switzerland. Their keen sense of smell meant they could find lost travellers and bring them to safety. Today, the descendants of these dogs no longer work in this way, but instead are employed in Switzerland, where their job is to entertain and play with visitors. This makes them the perfect symbol for the message in our card tonight. They have in the past done their share of working hard and giving all their time for the benefit of others. But now is their time to relax and have a more leisurely life. And so the message throughout this card tonight is: make sure you find time for yourself. Set aside some time, if only a short time each day, to put your feet up, have a cup of tea if you like, and do what makes you happy and what you enjoy. And let the rest of the world deal with its own problems for a while. And our third crystal this evening is the amethyst, and with that goes the card for the dragonfly. This card says in life there are many challenges, and how you deal with those situations is vitally important. The way in which you think about them might even more so be important. If you perceive them as negative and harmful, they will likely become that way and make you unhappy. And depression can set in. And it can be more difficult to come back from this. However, if you remember that heaven has the highest desires for you, then it's a lot easier to recover and move forward and try to focus on positive thoughts and ideas. Dragonflies are very special. Their life is partly lived in water and part in the air, reflecting a mix of emotion and intellect. Their flying ability is unique. They not only are able to fly forward, but backwards also, and also hover rather like a helicopter. And so, just like the dragonfly, you can choose to remain in the position you are in and stay where you are, or you can go either in reverse or make a move to go forward. And it's for you to make that choice. Dragonflies are one of the oldest creatures on Earth. They've been around for 150 million years. And during that time they have evolved very little, other than to become a little smaller than they were. But structurally and biologically they remain unchanged. And the message this brings is: be prepared to accept change and accept the challenge where it's necessary. But be prepared to reject change for the sake of change. Make sure you get the right balance between the two. 3 excellent cards tonight. And thank you very much for listening to me. And I wish you all well. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. All right, friends, let's bring tonight's service to a close. We'll go back to Lainey for a closing prayer, and then I'll play out the closing Vesper. Thanks, Lainey.
Thank you, Rob, and thank you, Frank. And I chose the middle one, so it makes perfect sense to me, anyway. Okay, so I just want to say as well is don't forget the coffee morning. So hopefully it'll be open. The church will be open on the coffee morning, and because I'm there as well. So if you want to come and get a 1-to-1, there are loads of lovely mediums, and they're all amazing. So there you go, and all the stalls and everything. So there you go. Right. So if you're in your quiet place, and it's safe to do so, just close your eyes and feel yourself calming down. Divine Source, Guide, Spirit Friends, and Loved Ones, thank you for working with me and through me this evening, for bringing through messages from those in the spirit world to those here on the earth plane. I feel that there's been laughter and love and upliftment and tears and joy and all those mixture and roller coaster of emotions that all come with knowing love. I ask that you keep us all safe and well until we meet again. Always with love. Amen.
Well, a big thank you to Lainey for taking tonight's service. Lovely address earlier and all those messages. Thank you, Lainey. Yeah, fingers crossed we can get the church building open for coffee morning. That's the first Saturday of every month. So hopefully see you there. And of course, if you can spare any change to donate to our building works, our floor, then please do. You can do that through PayPal. There's a link in the comments there if you go onto that. And then there's a donate button. We're all volunteers at Thundersley, as I'm sure you know. Everyone generously volunteers their time to keep the place running. So that money just goes to the bills that we have to pay, like building work, electric, all of those things. All right, friends. Well, thank you for joining us tonight and staying online. Hope everyone stays safe with the wind and the storm out there. We will be back next Sunday at 6:30 again. But until then, have a great week. Good night, everyone.